2, 3, go.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are here to discuss an argument. Should parents allow their children to have relationships in college? Our rules will be a turn-based system, no using of foul words and abrasive gesture. Each member must be given a chance to speak.
The criteria will be content. Did the debaters prove their arguments? Was the content of their speeches informative? Did the debaters presented relevant arguments? Delivery and technique. How well did each team presented taking note, the clarity of voice, enunciation, volume, body language, and interaction with the audience? Organization. Were the divisions clear and progression of ideas clearly presented? Teamwork. Did the speakers fail to develop teammates' arguments, or was he or she able to cover to avoid repetition of arguments? Timekeeping. Was the delivery of the speaker's speech too long or too short from the time given? Now, you may now start from the affirmative side.
We firmly believe that parents should allow their children to have relationships in college because they are mature enough. According to debate.org, relationships are how children learn to communicate with each other. They are one part of growing up. Most college relationships don't work out, but children can learn from the ones that don't. HuffingtonPost.com said that parents are doing more damage to you than your boyfriend by threatening abandonment. Besides, your parents should know that it is your life and you can make your own choices and mistakes because we are legally adults. Along with adulthood comes the legal right to make certain decisions, even about marriage. Having a boyfriend/girlfriend increases your academic performance because you have someone to help you with your lesson. In reviewing, you have someone to rely on. Entering a relationship means we are taking full responsibility of our actions. And most of us here, our parents provide for our education. So if something happens like we are overly concerned with our other half and ended up flunking our algebra or trigo class, they can easily cut support. I also think it is better if they know that we are in a relationship because it would be easier for them to track us and know our status. Because hiding would result to rebellion and it might lead to sexual acts, which would be a bigger problem for both the child and the parent.
So you said that you're 18, you're mature, you're legally adults, which means that you can finally do those adults can do that young people cannot do. And what are those? Marriage and sexual intercourse, sexual acts. And when you do that, of course, when you do that, you can get pregnant. Even if you say you have protection, you cannot guarantee that. You cannot just gonna do that once. I guarantee it. And of course, when you are pregnant, you have to take responsibility of the creature you've created here. You need time to take care of your baby. And you will use time to study and to focus on your college. You will have trouble. And let's say that you can resist the temptation. It will still serve as a distraction. Because this is college. This is different. Maybe in high school you can have many relationships. You can do whatever you want and get away with it. You can fail and you can still pass. But this is college. This is hell. You have to give it your all. You have to be very serious to get a successful life. And then when you're in a relationship, you become more focused to it. It becomes the center of your universe. You will need time to hang out with your loved ones. Of course, when it's study time, you cannot focus anymore. You cannot concentrate anymore because you keep on thinking about the love of your life. You cannot concentrate. Thereby, there is a possibility that you will fail. And there are even those students who would rather take priority to their relationship than give more importance to their relationship rather than their college. You will say, "You are my future." No, that will not. You cannot have that. So thereby, I believe that you should focus more on your studies, on college, have a successful life, get a job, and get a relationship when you are sure that you can sustain the needs of your future family. That is all.
Excuse me, mister. I think your idea is out of topic. Dating or having a relationship in college is an important part of teenage life. They form social bonds and learning the responsibility that we need to create independent adult lives. It gives lessons on the importance of maturity and responsibility when they're teenager kids are dating. The role of parents is very important and needed both to support and advise based on the experience. It is very necessary that the teenagers can take care of their relationship while doing proper attitude towards studying. Also, it develops academic motivation in students because having a relationship improves the desire to learn while having an inspiration. Dr. Furman, a professor of psychology in the University of Denver, said adolescents' lack of social skills and emotional control can make relationships difficult. Yet, he said having relationships can also be a significant source of support that offer teenagers fun and companionship. And also help them forge mature identities and offer them practice in managing emotions. According to Manning, adolescence is an exploratory stage where important skills and experience are obtained, while dating, which help teens to navigate later life relationships. Adolescents to endure and learn from these lessons can eventually foster the emergence of more mature relationships behaviors. And lastly, relationships at this stage of development provide a mirror in teens' desires, values, hopes for the type of relationships he or she wants in the future. That's all.
Wait. What? So you think that having a relationship in college is just a step to know what type of relationship he or she wants in the future? Nuh-uh. Our parents know what's best for us. They should not allow us to have relationship now that we're still in college. They know and we know how hard and stressful college is. And having a relationship has a big factor, especially in our academics. We might not focus very well in our studies. Our time won't be balanced anymore. There's this saying that we cannot serve two masters in one at a time. In connection, we can have relationship together with our studies at a time. We just need to focus on just one. Sometimes we almost forget to give time in our academics because we give more time on our partners. We almost forget our responsibilities as a son and daughter of our parents and as a students also. We need to prioritize first our studies. We're still young and immature. Love can we just enjoy our life that we're still single. If now that we're still in college, we already have responsibility, what more if we are already involved in relationships, which we know that it has bigger responsibility when combined. According to research, the effects of having relationship to the academic performance of CFA students. They conducted that having relationship affect the academic performance, and those who are single have higher grades because they are more focused on their studies.
I disagree with your opinion about having a relationship in college. We all know that we can manage our time by spending time with our special someone and time for studies. We are already mature enough, and we are also known as young adults. Parents want to protect their children, so they set boundaries, limitations, or rules on their children's relationship. Since they know what is right or wrong, so parents should just trust their children. In relationships, one can learn how to socialize, build self-esteem and confidence, be responsible, and how to be independent. A child can also use their relationship as an inspiration or motivation in their studies. They can help each other pass their subjects, and at the end, it's always the child's choice. It's all about time management, and I believe that there's always the time for everything We just have to make the best out of it. Thank you.
I disagree to what you have just said. If you care about your future, then you put studies are your top priority. If not, then choose love otherwise. What I mean to say is that love is always there. While being given the opportunity to mold your future comes rarely. I believe that true love waits. So getting into commitment is not a race. In prioritizing your studies, you can try it as many as you can until you succeed. But in love, you can actually make them your inspiration, but you really need to balance your time or else you will fail. For sure, studies will never fail and so should be prioritized among any else. Being in love with somebody has an effect in teenagers' studies. It does occupy their minds. Students can focus on the lecture because they keep on thinking about their boyfriend or girlfriend, especially when they have a lover's quarrel. It is hard for them to concentrate. Isn't it funny on how other students are prioritizing their relationship over love? Parents were sacrificing for us to have our better future by pushing us to study hard, yet others let love to get over their life. Love can wait, but not life. Only a dead fish go with the flow. We, as a student, should create our way where education is at the top of our lives. That's it.
Okay, now so we will give both teams a chance to conclude or give their final thoughts about the argument. The affirmative side may start.
Therefore, we at the affirmative side believes that parents should allow their child to have a relationship in college, because adolescence is an exploratory stage. Having a relationship in the collegiate years has its prerequisites. It gives an adolescent the feeling of confidence and support from his or her significant other. It gives him or her inspiration and motivation to perform better academically. He or she gets the feeling of joy and companionship in the sense that one is confident that someone has got his or her back. This then develops a teen's communication skills, not in the sense of speaking, but in the sense of expressing his or her feelings with the absence of an awkward feeling. Through having relationships, one tends to construct social bonds by lounging around other people rather than just his or her friends, hence giving an adolescent more opportunities to gather and have more experiences. And these experiences may help navigate later life relationships in order to obtain mature relationship behaviors. Having relationships may help turn teens into mature young adults, which will lead to properly handling and managing their emotions. It will provide lessons in life which teens can gain through hardships and problems a couple may encounter. These hardships would only make adolescents stronger and develop their maturity and responsibility in handling problems bigger than they are. And a perfect example for that is a separation. We are all aware that nothing is forever and that all good things must come to an end. Sometimes in a relationship, these circumstances may occur, and these circumstances may help determine what type of person an adolescent wants to spend his or her mortal life with. And by having very little knowledge about relationships, adolescents would obviously come to their parents who knows exactly what to do when in a situation similar to their child's. This activity may enhance an adolescent's relationship not only to his or herself, but most importantly to his or her parents.
Therefore, we on the negative side believe that parents should not allow their children to have a relationship. Parents know what are the bad effects of having a relationship because they already experienced that. Having a relationship while studying is very destructive for us. It will make us fail on our subjects. Your boyfriend or girlfriend can also be a bad influence. They can take you to a bad deeds and can destroy you. This can cause to lose
your focus on your study and even to your family. We are wasting more of our times with them and do not have enough time for our first priorities. We cannot manage our time. Maybe some of the parents allow their children to have a relationship because they don't know what their children does when they are with their girlfriend or boyfriends. And the worst, they will get into a thing they cannot control and will lead into an unexpected pregnancy.
Okay, now that you have said your ideas based on how you delivered it, I think that the
You know, the winner is Team B.
team B, which is the
Negative side.
negative side, or the one that says that parents should not allow their children to have relationships in college. So there were just
There were
some who were reading, and the volume of the voices should be a little bit louder.
there was 5 words.
That's it. And there was language switching. So points were deducted from the score.
For in my opinion, people or in college who have relationships, it depends on them whether or not they will fail or succeed. Because if you have a relationship and you have the skills to manage your time evenly, you'll succeed. But no, you'll obviously fail. That's all I can say. Thank you, debaters. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey!